Welcome to ChatSmart English, where stories come alive to improve your language skills. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey, exploring the life of Adolf Hitler, a man whose dreams, ambitions, and actions reshaped the course of history forever. From humble beginnings to his rise to power, this story is not just a lesson in history, but also a powerful reminder of the impact of our choices. So grab your headphones, sit back, and let's dive into the tale of Adolf Hitler, a journey filled with triumphs and tragedies that will captivate your mind and sharpen your English skills. It all began on April 20th, 1889, in a small Austrian town called Braunau am Inn. Adolf was born to Alois and Clara Hitler, a seemingly ordinary family in an ordinary town. As a child, Adolf loved to draw, play outdoors, and dream of a big future. But life at home was far from perfect. His father, Alois, was a strict man who believed in discipline and hard work. Alois wanted Adolf to follow in his footsteps and pursue a stable government career. However, young Adolf had a different dream. He wanted to become an artist. His mother, Clara, adored him and quietly supported his ambitions, but she couldn't change Alois's firm mind. Adolf's childhood was marked by tension and conflict. His father often dismissed his artistic aspirations, saying, "Art is not a real job." These harsh words hurt Adolf deeply, but he rarely argued back. Instead, he poured his emotions into his drawings, secretly dreaming of a life far removed from his father's strict expectations. When Adolf was 13, his father passed away suddenly. While some thought this would free him to chase his dreams, the loss left a void in his heart and set the stage for the struggles that would shape his future. After his father's death, young Adolf's life began to change. He no longer felt the pressure of Alois's expectations, but the freedom came with its challenges. Adolf started to lose interest in school. Once a good student, he now skipped classes, spending his days drawing or dreaming of a life as an artist. Teachers would often say, "Adolf is bright, but he is lazy." His mother, Clara, tried her best to support him, but even her love couldn't keep him focused on his studies. When Adolf finished school, he set his sights on Vienna, the artistic capital of Austria. "Vienna is where my dreams will come true," he thought. At 18, he packed his bags and moved to the city, hoping to join the prestigious Academy of Fine Arts. He was filled with excitement and ambition, imagining a future where his art would be admired by many. But when the results of his application arrived, his heart broke. He was rejected. The school told him, "Your work is not good enough." Devastated but not ready to give up, Adolf decided to try again the following year. This time, he worked even harder on his drawings, believing that success was just within reach. But when the results came, the rejection was repeated. Once again, he was told that his art didn't meet the Academy's standards. This second failure crushed him. Without a school to attend or a job to support himself, Adolf's life became difficult. He lived in tiny, dirty rooms and sometimes slept on the streets. To survive, he painted postcards and sold them to tourists, earning just enough money for a simple meal. During this time, tragedy struck again. Adolf's beloved mother, Clara, passed away. She had always been his greatest supporter, and losing her left him feeling completely alone. Angry at the world and filled with frustration, Adolf began to blame others for his failures. "It's not my fault," he would tell himself, as bitterness and anger started to grow in his heart. In 1914, a significant event changed the course of Adolf's life. World War I began, and like many young men of his time, Adolf saw it as an opportunity for a fresh start. He joined the German army, believing it would give his life purpose. As a soldier, Adolf showed courage, often volunteering for dangerous missions. He earned 2 medals for bravery and felt, for the first time, that he was part of something bigger than himself. However, the war ended in 1918 with Germany's defeat. This loss left Adolf furious and disillusioned. "Our leaders betrayed us," he would say, convinced that Germany had been unfairly treated in the peace agreements. Returning to a country in chaos, he found it hard to adjust. People were poor, jobs were scarce, and many were angry about the harsh terms imposed on Germany. Amid this turmoil, Adolf found a new direction. He joined a small political group called the German Workers' Party. It was here that Adolf discovered his talent for public speaking. When he spoke, people listened. His words were filled with passion, anger, and promises of a stronger Germany. Slowly, his influence grew, and he renamed the group the National Socialist German Workers' Party, later known as the Nazi Party. Adolf designed the Nazi flag, a red banner with a black swastika, declaring it a symbol of Germany's rebirth. His speeches drew larger crowds as people resonated with his vision of a powerful Germany. But his ideas were dangerous. He began blaming certain groups for Germany's problems, fueling hatred and division. Despite this, many followed him, desperate for hope in a time of despair. By 1923, Adolf's ambition had reached new heights. He believed that the only way to save Germany was by taking control of the government. He attempted to do this through force, in what became known as the Beer Hall Putsch. But the attempt failed. Adolf was arrested and sentenced to prison for 9 months. During his time behind bars, he wrote a book titled Mein Kampf, meaning My Struggle. In this book, Adolf outlined his views on Germany's future and the need for a strong authoritarian leader. He also expressed his belief that certain races were superior, while others were enemies of Germany. Despite being in prison, Adolf's influence continued to grow. Mein Kampf became a bestseller, and many Germans began to embrace his ideas. After his release, Adolf worked tirelessly to strengthen the Nazi Party, giving passionate speeches and organizing large rallies. He promised a better life for the German people, but only if they followed him. His charisma and powerful speeches attracted more supporters as he built a loyal following. By 1933, Adolf's party had gained enough power to make a significant impact. That year, he was appointed Chancellor of Germany, the country's top political leader. It marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life and the nation's history. Adolf promised jobs, economic recovery, and a strong military. The people were hopeful. Many believed that Adolf was the leader who could bring Germany back to greatness. But behind his promises of prosperity, Adolf had a dangerous agenda. He quickly moved to eliminate anyone who opposed him. He took control of the media, schools, and even the minds of young people through the Hitler Youth. Anyone who dared to speak out against him was punished, imprisoned, or worse. The swastika flag, once a symbol of rebellion, now became the symbol of Adolf's totalitarian regime. As Adolf's power grew, so did his ambitions. In 1939, he made his boldest move yet. He ordered his army to invade Poland, an act that sparked the beginning of World War II. At first, Hitler's army was unstoppable. They conquered country after country, rapidly expanding Germany's territory. Adolf's dream of a vast empire seemed closer than ever. But as the war dragged on, things began to turn against him. While leading the war effort, Adolf's ideology grew darker. He ordered the extermination of millions of Jews and other groups he deemed undesirable. This horrifying event became known as the Holocaust, one of the darkest chapters in human history. Entire families were destroyed, and communities wiped out. Adolf's vision for a pure Germany had led to unimaginable suffering. By 1944, Germany was losing the war. The Allies, including the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union, had turned the tide. Bombs fell on German cities, and Adolf's once loyal followers began to question his decisions. Still, he refused to admit defeat. In his bunker, deep underground in Berlin, he gave orders, determined to keep fighting even as defeat loomed. But the Soviet forces were closing in from the east, while the American and British armies attacked from the west. Berlin was surrounded, and the end was near. On April 29, 1945, in the face of certain defeat, Adolf married his longtime companion Eva Braun in a simple ceremony inside his bunker. The following day, Adolf and Eva took their own lives. The world would soon know of their deaths, and Germany's surrender on May 8, 1945, would bring an end to the war in Europe. In the aftermath of his death, Germany was left in ruins. Adolf's dream of a powerful, expanded Germany had resulted in devastation and loss on an unimaginable scale. Millions of lives were lost due to his actions, and his name became a symbol of hatred, cruelty, and unchecked ambition. The world would never forget the horrors of the Holocaust or the destruction caused by World War II. Today, Adolf Hitler's story serves as a reminder of the dangers of power, hatred, and the unchecked pursuit of personal ambition. It teaches us the importance of compassion, unity, and the need to choose kindness and understanding over division. History is not only about the past, but a tool for shaping a better future. We must learn from it to ensure that such darkness is never repeated. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking stories that help you improve your English while learning important lessons from history. See you in the next video.